welcome. I'm so glad to see all of you back today. I have a special guest with me today. I am Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, founder and executive director of Sisters in the Spirit. For African descendant women, and in saying that African descendancy, I'm talking about anyone that can relate to their heritage. And we all come from Mother Africa. But I specifically, because of what's going on today, is updated for black women. Now we're going to have open meetings, and those open meetings are going to include males also. I did that last year. Open meetings would include everyone who can recognize the value of their African heritage. And many of you do, because we all come from that mitochondrial DNA, which is in all of us, from that original African woman. My guest today I have with me is a beautiful woman that I've met in my travels, in my soul journey. Because remember now, we're all spiritual beings in the physical body. And we're given assignments, and this assignment was given to me after my health challenge. And I'll tell you a little bit about my health challenge. I was in a coma. Yes, I was asleep. And I came back alive. I know we talk about Whitney Houston's daughter. She didn't make it back, and I did. And I thank the divine intelligence for bringing me back. But the issue was I wasn't going anywhere, because in the spirituality of who and what I am, I heard voices saying to me, we're going to keep you alive. Now that was true. I didn't go down a tunnel, but I had that experience. So I'm still here, and I have work to do. And I asked the divine, and it said, go back to the women's group. So spiritually, I want to say to each and every one of you who's out there, we are all part of a divine universe. And we come in as different races, ethnicities, and cultures, but we're all connected because of that. And this woman right here with me, she's a beautiful woman that I met in one of those types of groups. And her name is Wizella Jackson. And Wizella Jackson is a beautiful sister in the spirit. Let me do this overhead real quick so you can see some of the things that really impressed me. And this one was given to me by a gentleman. I want to say to all of you, it's not just about women. It's about all of us, all the human beings that are on this planet. We're to respect one another and support one another on the highest level. We talk about the Constitution. Those were high-minded men, even though they did have African slaves. They had a high-mindedness about themselves that moved beyond their culture and their race. And all of us adhere to high-minded ideals. Live life, love life, pursuit of happiness. We all appreciate that in the Constitution, the founding fathers, even though they all had slaves. But let me say this to all of you, that this point of my assignment to work with women of color, black women, is to help them individually to understand their spirituality, their psychology, their sociology, way of life in Mother Africa, and update today with all that we're going through as mothers, grandmothers, aunties, cousins, and whatever, all this death and destruction. And we're here in Chicago. Many women I have met have lost family members, males, and now the children are being murdered. There has to be a spiritual uplift going on, and I hope to be a part of that as I invite all of you who are listening to call in. This is a Hotline 21 show. You can call in. The number's at the bottom, 312-738-1060, if you have any questions or comments or statements you'd like to make. As I said, my name is Minister Cynthia Marie Williams. This is Wizella Jackson, my beautiful friend. And I'd like to say that as you look at me, I want to deal with the reality. I'm a pleasingly plump lady. But I love myself. Don't let my appearance fool you. I think we have to learn how to look at each other with a much deeper look, not just on the outside. Get rid of all this racism and all this sexism and all this gender bias, We need to see who the spirit of what we are. And that is truly souls that are here to uplift each other. And that freedom to live on this planet and to vibrate to lift it up. Yes, we can do this. But again, my beautiful associate, I keep giving her name. I love her so much. We are big, black, and beautiful. What can I say? She's smaller than me, but I hope to get there one day. God bless all of you, and I want to share with you the program that I have that I use in order to help individuals. Let me share this one with you. Sisters in the Spirit, this is the program. It's a 12-step program. And this 12-step program helps you to deal with your emotions. Rosella, could you read something, a little bit of something to tell you? There's a paragraph in the front of our brochure.
Well, I'm going to do my best because I did not
can,
bring my reading glasses.
Sorry about that. I should have told her to do that.
Yes.
But let me do
some
this.
Light here.
Try to do what you can, darling. 12-step Emotions Anonymous.
And that is the abbreviation is EA. Emotion Anonymous was founded by a group of individuals who founded a new way of life by working the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous as adapted for people with emotional problems.
With emotional problems. This is what the 12-step spot. And it has the same steps that they have in the AA program. And I have been a part of Emotions Anonymous when I was working in a community, the community here in Hyde Park. And the people there were Caucasian females and some blacks would come in because these 12-step programs are open to everybody, whatever your culture, race, or gender. Can be LBGT and Q also. And what it did for me is help me to deal with some issues emotionally that I had with me since I was a child, and being persecuted as a child because of a gift that I had been given. So we have to take care with our children. We look at the children now that are killing each other here in Chicago, and my question as I look at them is that they don't know who they are. They don't have a sense of their own self-worth and value. And if my role is to help the women, the mothers, the grandmothers, to get a sense of their self, then that ripple effect can happen in our community. Don't you think, Rosella?
Yes.
Yes. It will help. Because I know you were talking about some youth and what you felt. Why don't you share your thoughts and ideas on that?
Well, these are some thoughts and ideas that one of my BFFs and I talk about occasionally, and that is a program to give accolades to people who are already grown up and have kids. It's a trickle-down effect. Kids are raising kids, but if you can give some type of kudos to the parents, make them feel good, then they're going to make their kids feel good naturally. I've always believed that in many ways, even as human beings, we're a little bit like plants. It's our roots that we got to take a look at. And kids, no matter how much programs that you're putting them through, all of the great fortune, which I think are fantastic out there now. Don't stop creating programs for children. But eventually they're going home. They're going home and they're going to be wrapped up in that old habitual environment again that may be feeling lack, that may be angry, that may be going through some emotional trauma. So we really need to take a look at what we can do for the parents as well so they can feed some good energy back to the children.
I like that idea. That's why it takes individuals to do what they can where they are. And my specific assignment is to work with black women. And I had another program that Girl Community Services. I had that for 6 years and had a show down here at Can TV. Beautiful people down here. And what that program was about, that was given to me. And it was to help people get their GED and help people to learn how to read and write. The only independent nonprofit that provided that service in the state of Illinois. Just doing what I felt my energy and my direction was and my assignment at that time. Now, after my health challenges, is doing the women's group. I had started that too. Overachiever, you might say. I mean, I can't go anywhere because I'm an overachiever. So now with Sisters in the Spirit, I'm trying to work this element that you're talking about with black women, with women. Now, wait a minute now. You can call in. It's 312-738-1060. You don't have to be a woman. You can be of any culture, any race, LBGTQ. Come on. We're all here together as human beings trying to live on this planet, and we can live on the highest level if we bond together in healthy ways. The struggle is all around the world. So I want you to know that you can call in, but you can also come to my meeting, and this is the open meeting. Is it an open meeting? Yes, let me make it an open meeting because I need to see some of you there. Now, this is a meeting, the poster for my meeting, beautiful. Found this on the computer. These are black women sitting around on a beautiful sofa. And I keep saying I wasn't going to use meeting, gathering, coming together. And we're not going to be gossiping or anything like that. We're going to do the structural thing like I showed you, the EA. And then I have something else I want to show you that might surprise you, I hope, and you might be interested in coming. Now, this is the information on this overhead. Sisters in the Spirit. That is my email, forceapart@yahoo.com. And this is my number. You can reach me, 312-802-4743. Again, forceapart@yahoo.com, 312-802-4743. And you'll be able to discuss with me some things that you may be having problems with. I'm a minister, and I do counseling and teaching. I'm a metaphysical counselor and teacher, believing in divine mind, creative mind, and all that, and that we are connected to the universe and the vibration of the universe. And so we can do as, let's just say, I throw in Jesus said. I'm not getting biblical as much as the fact that we are creators. And when we connect with the divine, we can create our own reality and move out of our reality. There are techniques and tools that you can use, and I can show you that. Now, again, I want to make sure with this EA, I want you to understand truly that is going to be a big help to you. That's why I brought the brochure today. It follows the 12-step program that AA uses. And let me say to you, I was married to a man that was a heroin addict. Let me be real with you. And I used to go to open AANA meetings, CA meetings, all kind of meetings. And I found out that these people were not necessarily, they would go to church, but this program, let me say, I am so impressed with the divine, because those two white men who founded AA, one was a doctor, one was a salesman back in the day, and they were inspired to form AA. Because back in the day, let me get a little history. Many of you in Chicago, maybe some of you remember that we did have a Skid Row. And there were a lot of white guys in seedy hotels right on Madison Street. Now, you know that had to be way back. I used to ride the bus over there. I had family on the west side. But they were that was Skid Row on Madison Street. So I'm saying this to say this, that those Caucasian men got an inspiration to start AA. Because back then they would take people and lock them up. And then the whole concept of alcoholism was a disease came to the forefront. More compassion, more empathy, and these men formed this group. And when you go to an AA meeting, NA as I have, because I had a husband that was a drug addict, you'll find that these people have a sense of love and bonding with one another and encouragement. And say that your first mistake that you make, and that's EA, thinking, the thought. You may be wounded because of things that had happened to you as a child, but here you'll be able to recover if you work the program. It works when you work it. It teaches you of the spirituality of yourself and the spirituality of the higher power. It doesn't go religious, because you have many people who have been, and now as time has gone by, abused by religious people. Quote unquote Roman Catholic priests, ministers. I mean, come on now. We know today in 2016, a lot of people in the profession, when I say a lot, maybe not, it may be inclusive like that. There are many in the ministry that have flaws, and they hurt children and they hurt each other. So let us be kind and know that there is a way out for you if you're on drugs or whatever. And this is for the women also and the men. But EA for you right now is for you, ladies, for you to come and deal with your woundedness. I had woundedness too, and it helped me to recover from the pain and suffering that I went through. So I, like you, know what it is to suffer through childhood trauma, adult trauma, all of those things. So I want to say to you that you are loved and you are cared about. Ella?
I got a question about that.
Yes.
Are there programs out there for people to go to regarding this EA or Alcoholic Anonymous who are not involved in alcoholic abuse for themselves, but they live with someone that has that kind of problem?
Yes, because I attended that one too.
Good.
Al-Anon. It's called Al-Anon. And there's also one called Alateen for teenagers who may be connected with people who are drug addicts and alcoholics. But Al-Anon, and I attended Al-Anon, and that's what I needed because being a wife of a person who was a drug addict, I was told when this person went to a program at the hospital. In fact, it was Jackson Park at that time. And when I realized that this person was a drug, I didn't know anything about drugs. And he found out that he was. But I told him, I said, look, I can't live like this. And we went to a program at the Jackson Park Hospital. And then the counselor told me I had a problem. I said, what do you mean I have a problem? I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't do anything.
I believe it's kind of contagious.
But I tell you, what happened was I finally realized, I said, wait a minute, something must be wrong with me being with somebody like this. And so I started going to Al-Anon meetings, and Al-Anon, I found, tells you how to deal with yourself. It's a 12-step program, how to deal with yourself, take care of yourself, how to deal in that relationship. It could be son, daughter, aunt, grandmama, whatever. So I did the Al-Anon program. Yes, it does exist, darling.
I'm glad
and
it
all you
does
got
exist,
to do is go to your computer and put Al-Anon, ALANON.com, and you should be able to pull up the Al-Anon programs that are in the city. They're all over. But anonymity is the part of 12-step. So if you haven't heard about it, it's more like word of the mouth. But now that you know about it, and there are AA meetings, AA recovery programs, and everything is like respectful of who you are and all the pain and something you're going through. Everybody's got to know. But when you're around a group that people that have common knowledge, common awareness of self, then it helps to encourage you. And I mean, it's like keep coming back. Keep coming back means no matter how bad you may do, and you could be using, but if you're here and you want to make recovery, then we accept you where you are. It's a fantastic thing. Yes, we have a caller. Yes, caller. Give us your question statement and where you're calling from. Yes, we have a caller. Yes, caller.
Hi. Hi. Yeah, I'm calling from Chicago.
Could you hear what she's saying? Yeah, could you
I know that you had the sisterhood. I like that. And
do you have your television on, ma'am? Please turn your television and radio off, please.
I need some help with my daughter.
She needs some help for her daughter.
You need some help for your daughter? Well, you can call me.
Turn it off.
Let me go do the overhead.
Talking.
Okay, let me get back to I heard you about the help for your daughter. That's the overhead with my information. Now I hear a lot of background noise though, but you can look at that overhead and you can see the phone number where you can call me. And then from there we can talk about something else, other things that you may need. I have meetings on Sundays at 3 p.m. At my home in Beverly. I mean, just come as you are, no problem, you ain't got to pay for nothing. And you and all of you out there who are listening, anyone else you know, it's an open meeting and we need to come together. We need to learn that supports groups are good for us as black people. Now, we know Caucasians do it, but they do it for a reason. I've been a part of those groups, and it's very healing. If we don't want to go to mental health professionals, we can at least start off doing this 12-step EA. Mm-hmm. So just come on down, call me, and then we can move forward from that. And you and your daughter, because remember now, we don't think there's anything wrong with us, which is not a matter of wrongness. It's taking responsibility for the fact that maybe we don't know. Because I'm like, not me, I ain't got a problem. But when I found out there had to be something in my inability to be with and choose someone, and I've been married a couple of times, kept making the mistakes. I'm doing beautifully right now because I learned my lesson. It's so easy to point the finger at someone else. It's not that you're bad, but you may not know. And that's what Zella's talking about. The parents of these children need to be encouraged. Male and female, is that right, Zella?
That's
we need
right.
to help them to
Parents
understand.
Need to be encouraged too.
That's what I'm saying. We need to help each other to learn and grow and develop and find out what it is that can help us to move through our life to make it better with our children and all those. I'm sorry, call if I talked over you. You made me excited. Do you have some other question?
They're gone.
Okay, so you're gone, caller. So you are looking, and I do appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you. Do call in 312 738-1060. And let me get this other part before you go off air. Another part to the program, and I'm just so excited. I have books that I use, and these books are legitimate by scholars and writers, and a lot of them I read in the 70s. But this is one book, when my sister saw it, it scared her. I tell you, she said, no, I can deal with that. But one of the things we don't know and don't realize, women, is that this was something real. And that is when God was a woman. Shocking, isn't it? No, God is a father. No. Who told you God was a father? A man did. So I'm not against males. I have a beautiful husband. But the issue is we need to understand that we are valuable as African descendant women, that we were the original goddesses, and we are the original mothers of everybody on this planet. The continents were together, and that when they found those skeletons, oh, we got a caller. Yes, caller, can I have your question or statement?
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening. I called last week, and it was my first time watching your program.
Yes.
And I was the one who said it excited me so much, I had to call him again today. But what gets me is you two young ladies up there don't have to do this. You have your lives, but you're here to help people because you needed help at one time. And that's the greatest reward of all, helping people that need help. Because when I was a young man, I was married.
He says
I was married and
people that need help.
I had two children. I wasn't much of a husband. But I got another job. I retired after 22 years. My wife was gone. I put my kids through college. Worked a lot of overtime, but let me tell you, helping my kids was the best thing in the world. It mattered more than cigarettes or mattered more than booze. It mattered more than anything. And I want to thank you young women up there because you're putting it out like it should be put out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
It's a nice
I really
comment.
appreciate that. I really appreciate that because it's just that we can't save the whole world. We're individuals and souls that are here. So let's do what we can where we are. And if we listen and are given an assignment, all things that we need to help us to do that, we can move forward and feel like when Martin Luther King, Dr. King said, all I want to do is help somebody. So we can do that. We must feel that we can, like you've done with your children. You've done some good, sir. Yes, you have. So we got to recognize where we stand, we can do some good.
That's
As
true.
parents to the youth, as Wazella has been talking about, you have that child there, and that will be your great work.
As just brothers and sisters of the planet.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a parent.
Okay.
Neighbor.
Okay. There you go. It's so much that we can do for each other and show that kindness, that support, and that encouragement. And specifically for us in our community as black people, that has always come to my mind. I was born in the South, Memphis, Tennessee, 1948. Remember getting on the back of the bus with my mother as a little girl. But as I moved, my father moved us to the urban area of Chicago, got a job at the steel mill. And so he moved us to the multicultural neighborhood of Hyde Park. Now, this man did not have a grammar school education, but he was motivated. The last part of the black migration. So it's not about all these degrees, as I say always. You can get them, nothing wrong with that. But do not let them be your value. Know that spiritually you have something more than just what you have earned on the outside. The outside helps us to live in this world to an extent, as many of us have found out. But you as a black person, you have a greatness about you and something that we have forgotten and many of us are aware of, but some are not. And I'm here to help you to understand that. Again, that book, some of you might have got shook up. Wait, let me show the book again, because I had a lot of people respond really, when God was a woman. Okay, oh my God. What are you talking about, Minister Williams? And that is real, because over the years, the translations that have been written by men. And we talk about this at the meeting on Sunday at 3 o'clock. So there's a lot going on for us. It's not about picketing, going up and down streets. This is selfishly a program for us as black people, specifically black women, African descendant women. If you can identify, open meetings for men to come also. I did that last year. and the closed meetings where we can just sit around and talk about some stuff that just relates with us. So call in right now, 312-738-1060. And if you have any questions or statement, we're here for you. 312-738-1660. I'm very excited about being back to CAN TV and being on this program. And this beautiful woman next to me was Zella Jackson. I love her. And I met her in another group. It's about spirituality. And it was a multicultural group also. So we are all connected. But as I say, we have different assignments. And we work within our culture, within our race. But as long as it's the same thing, I want you all to know that I am here for you. And don't forget my program. Let me do this overhead again. That's for the meeting on Sunday at 3 o'clock. And then you also have, let me put this on here, the EA program, 12-step, that can help you with your issues of woundedness and pain and suffering. Because it's like, what can I do? I'm hurt, but we can get over that. We can get over that. And I'm here to help you to do that. So thank you all, and look forward to you coming in and to the meeting on Sunday and calling me.
And I just want to say, remember, this program, this EA program, is also for people who are living with people who have those issues.
Yes.
If you're in the same household with that person,
Yes.
you need some help dealing with living under those conditions.
And thank you very much. Peace and blessings to you all.